Hi, Kevin Henry, the Group Editorial Director for UBM Medica's Dental Division. And I'm on a Google Hangout today with my friend and the Executive Director of DentalSoftwareAdvisor.com and also our EHR Editor for Dental Products Report, Mike Uretz. Hey, Mike, how are you?
I'm doing good, Kevin. How are you today?
All good, man. I appreciate the time. And I know that this is kind of a busy time for you because you're working on a really cool online tool that really is going to help people understand and compare those dental EHR vendors that are out there. And I know that that's a passion of yours and something that we've talked about for years now. Why did you develop this tool? What's kind of the genesis behind it?
Well, as you know, Kevin, this isn't my first rodeo, and I've been helping practices and groups for, over a decade now, help look at vendors, evaluate software and EHR systems. And I went back and I thought about kind of how I went about it the last few years. And really a big thing is really developing needs and requirements for a dental group or practice in terms of EHR dental software, and then finding appropriate vendors that fit into those needs. So I thought, you know what, it's about time I maybe take a little bit of that knowledge, and I actually developed an online tool that actually allows you to do that. So that was kind of the impetus. I thought it would really help the industry if they had this tool.
So give us kind of the 30,000-foot view here of how this works.
Well, basically, when you get into the tool, there's two main areas. You can choose vendors, and you can also choose features. So, for example, if you want to compare two vendors, you can compare 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, whatever. It's kind of a matrix table. You'll see when you get into it. But the most important thing and the most helpful thing is that what I've done is taken kind of my years of helping groups and practices and broken down these into various EHR categories and features. So for example, you might be interested in what vendors have electronic prescribing, or what vendors are certified by the government, what vendors have certain workflows or patient portals. So what we do is we actually are able to show vendors and the various features they have, and it's actually pretty easy to compare.
So you and I have talked offline a little bit that you really think that this will help speed along the adoption of EHRs in dental practices. And tell me why you feel that.
Well, I do. And I found this out, as you know, for years I was in the medical industry doing a similar thing years ago. And what I found is we're at the point in dental electronic health records where, as we know, the train's left the station. I'm getting more and more calls every day on people who are interested in EHRs. But along with it, there's more confusion. And there's more vendors jumping into the field. So hopefully by bringing a tool that'll at least make it a little bit easier to compare and contrast features and vendors, hopefully this will make it a little easier for practices and groups to look at EHR technology. And in turn, it might just help adoption in a little way. So hopefully that's the main goal, is to help move EHR into the dental industry a little bit quicker than it has been in the past.
And obviously, this is a really cool thing for customers and for dental professionals to look at whenever they're making these decisions. What's kind of your message to the vendors as far as this tool goes?
Well, actually, originally it was like pulling teeth. So when I started this a year ago, there were only a few vendors that were interested in getting involved. And I've gotten more vendors over the last few months. However, I have to say that there are some vendors I talked to that either aren't willing to share their information, which is unfortunate, or just don't think that EHR is here right now. So my message to the vendors is that along with EHR, the train, I believe, has left the station on comparing and contrasting vendors. So my hope is that as this gets out into the community, I hope that more and more vendors will agree to share their information with the dental industry and put the information on the tool. And I think I've seen that trend, Kevin. I think more and more vendors are recognizing the importance of EHRs. And personally, I feel that over the next year, if a vendor doesn't get involved in this educational effort with this online tool, they'll probably be an island, probably be left behind. So that's just my personal feeling on this.
No, and obviously, you know, I think everybody, you know, we're in the fourth quarter right now of 2015. I think everybody's already looking at what are EHRs going to be like in 2016. You know, so what do you see not only as the future of, you know, near future at least for EHRs, but also for this tool that you have?
Well, I think that EHRs, I've seen more and more features and functionality be put in the EHRs. As you know, as your editor for Dental Products Report and as the editor for Dental Software Advisor, I talk to vendors all the time. And I talk to the product groups. And being technical, I have some very interesting conversations with them. And I see more and more EHR-centric features being on the roadmaps, being put in every day. So I think 2016, we're going to see a lot of features. In terms of the tool, we have some exciting things planned. This is really the first iteration of the tool. It's very basic. And as we build the tool out, I want to put more user interfaces. I want to do a lot more features. And to that point, I do want to hear from the dental community as they use the tool, because the only way we can improve the product, we can improve this online comparison tool and make it better serving the industry, is really to hear from users out there. And then it's very easy for me to make changes, make adoptions. But I think you'll see over the next few months, this is version 1. We're working on version 2 as we speak. Again, I'm a techie, right? So I really love this stuff. And I think if you keep coming back to the tool, you'll see, number 1, changes to the tool, improvements, and also hopefully you'll see more vendors and more features as time goes on.
And tell our viewers where they can find out about this tool and learn more about how it can help them.
Well, we actually have a website that links to the tool. It's called ehrselect.com. So they can either get to the tool through ehrselect.com, or they can just go, a lot of our users that go to Dental Software Advisor, there'll be a link to the tool as well. So a couple of different ways to get there.
All right, Mike, as always, I know you think the train has left the station, and hopefully everybody's on board. And obviously, if they're not, they can keep up with you and keep up with Dental Products Report for the best way to hop on at the next station, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the opportunity to talk about this, Kevin. I look to talk to you in the future more about this.